We are in very initial kind of things like functions and all. We are
Yes,
there.
yeah.
So when we go there, we'll you can ask any doubt, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So many people joined newly. So I will take 2-3 minutes to just tell them where we are and what is this batch is about, right? Please mute yourself, everyone. Yeah. So I can see a couple of new joinees, right? Like I think Kumar, Kavita, Jamal, you were joining last week, but Murli, Pavan, Savajit, Sagar, Tara, you all joined today. I think few of you joined yesterday's demo. So let me tell you, this batch is a very fresh batch and we have not seen anything except the installation part. So I think yesterday we discussed about all of these things, right? In the demo class you have attended. So what we have seen in this particular thing, right? Last week we just discussed about Python installation. I hope uh, you can do it. If you see the video recordings, you can do it. I'll share the link with you in this particular chat window. I will send the link with you. Two things you need to do after today's class, right? You go and then first thing that you need to do is Anaconda Python installation, right? Anaconda Python installation you need to do. And then after you do this, second thing that you need to do is something called Jupyter Notebook tutorial. So what is Jupyter Notebook? So Jupyter Notebook is the IDE that we are using, right? Jupyter Notebook is the IDE that we are using for this course. So the window that you're looking where I'm kind of writing all of this thing, this is called Jupyter Notebook. So we are going to use this Jupyter Notebook for our coding. This is the ID that we're going to use. So what you need to do is I will share two link in YouTube. It is available. You can go to Durgasoft Sasmitha session 1, Durgasoft Sasmitha data science session 2. Session 1 is about installation. This is about installation, right? And this is about nothing but this is about your Jupyter Notebook tutorial, right? I'll share you the link in the chat window. Please wait. Once the class is finished, I will share the link with you. So what is the class timing? We are connecting almost every day. From your batch onwards, there are so many things I'm adding. What I felt is most of the time, you are lacking practice. No matter how many assignments I am giving, you are not practicing it. So I will make you practice in this class. So what we will do is Monday to Saturday, we will have class. Monday to Saturday, class is there, and Sunday you will join for mock test, right? So mock test is nothing but coding test, right? So I will give you questions there. I will not be there. I will share you the questions, 3-hour coding test, not every Sunday, but alternate Sundays, 15 days once, right? 15 days once. So in total 3 mock tests you will get. So what will be there in the mock test? In the mock test, this is for everyone. I think Jamal and others who joined last class, I don't know whether I said you this thing or not, but in the coding test or mock test, it will be exactly similar to your real coding test. I have attended many coding tests and I have seen many coding tests. Many of my students, I also tied up with US consultancies, right? So I have seen what kind of coding test they are going through. So this coding test, the questions may be different, but the way you are getting is very similar to how you are going to get in real-time interviews. So it will be mixed of the topics. Let's say in this 2 weeks, we have completed NumPy pandas. So that this coding test will be on NumPy pandas. Next, when we go to statistics, I will combine NumPy, pandas, and statistics. And then the last one, NumPy, pandas, statistics, machine learning. Basically, I'll give you a data set and then we'll build a complete project by yourself within 3 hours. So there is a time limit. That is the main thing, 3 hours, right? So if you're joining this course, even if you are not practicing, even if you're not giving time, you are bound to spend at least 10 to 12 hours, right? 3 to 4 coding tests. So 10 to 12 hours you will code. That will I will make sure. So that is what we will do on Sundays. And please join Sundays as well. We know we all are busy on weekends, but this is more than me. This is essential for you. So if you do not join, I cannot help, but try to join everyday class, right? Monday to Saturday you join, and Sunday you join for practice. I will not be there on Sundays. I will share my screen and display the questions, and then the timer will be there. It will go for 3 hours, and after 3 hours the meeting will be ended. You have to submit your solutions to me in the drive, right? And then we will discuss the results on Monday. This is what it is. And the timing for the class is Monday. Okay, the timing Monday to Friday, right? It is nothing but 7:30, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. And Saturday will join little late because I have another batch, advanced batch class is there, 7 to 9, I think their class is there. So we'll connect on 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Please mind it. So Saturday and Sunday test also 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, if the test is there, it will be at 9 a.m. right? Saturday, Sunday 9 a.m. Monday to Friday it is 7 a.m. And I think if you do continuous class and everyday practice and all that, Sundays at least there's no new topic you are practicing. You cannot keep yourself motivated more than 1.5 months, right? After 2 months you will be bored. So my commitment is completing the course on time. My commitment is completing the course on time. It's not my first batch, 40-50 batches I have completed on time, right? With all the complete syllabus very nicely I will cover, and then we will complete the course on time, right? So this is what it is. I think already we discussed, but this is something, the mock test thing, I thought I will discuss. Now, once you do this thing, you are good to go, right? Today onwards, yesterday in the last class, we have seen, we have started maybe half an hour. What is variable we have seen? So variable is nothing but a container which can store values. And we understood how to create a variable in Python. Jamal, can you tell, Jamal or Kavita, any one of you, what do you mean by Python variables are dynamically typed? I'm sorry for the background noise. Yeah.
Yeah, variable is a container where it can store the values. The variables can be numbers, data structures like list, set, tuple, dictionary, range. I think range is not data dictionary, but when coming to the numbers, it can be integer, float, or a complex number. And no need to declare the variable before it is used. It can be instantly used, declared and then used. I mean, not
Yes.
declared, no need to declare.
Yeah. So in the last class, we just started Python, and what we have seen is we have discussed what is variable, what is data type. This is what we have discussed, right? Variable and data type. These are the two topics we have discussed, and very common topics like how to give comments in Python. These are the three topics we have discussed. Half 30 minutes content. I don't want to repeat this content. Why? Because people who joined last class will be bored. So we'll start with the new content. Having said that, all the people who joined today newly, you can after today's class, if you have any doubt, please go through the recording, and I am going to arrange a separate class, maybe 15-20 minutes. Tomorrow we can extend, or today we can extend, where I will explain you what is variable, what is data type, and what is comment, right? So after today's class, I will extend for 15 minutes to explain these concepts to you. But this is very basics. People who know Python can understand very basic things, right? Okay. So what we will start today is something called, very important in Python, something called function, right? We'll start with function, and I'll give you assignment today which you can practice regarding functions, right? So any one of you, I just want to hear from you before I start. What do you mean by function? Anyone? Any other language if you have used, you must have used function. What is function?
It's a piece of code where it can return value, or it cannot. It might return value, or it might not return value. It's a piece of code which can be called internally. And
Okay,
in
so
build function.
It is
yes.
a block of code. We can execute many times, how many times you want, and it reduces code length.
Okay. May I know the purpose of using functions? Like piece of code, there are so many piece of code,
Sorry.
but
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
So it is a combination of all variables and list of business functionalities compressing into single unit.
Okay, so it helps us for
It
code
is avoid repetitions.
Yes. So all of you, whatever you have said is correct. So the main advantage of using function is for code reuse, right? Code reusability. What is code reusability? For example, in machine learning, or let's say sklearn, right? Let's say algorithm regression. The algorithm concept is same, right? Or if you are difficult understanding, let us take a simple example, derivative. So you are writing a function which will take one math function and it will take one value and find the derivative of that particular value. So the concept of derivative, right, is very similar. It is not going to change, right? You know that the concept of derivative is same, the theory or logic is same, or simply if you take, let's say, binary sort, right? So the sorting algorithm logic is same, right? It is not going to different. Now let's say you are going to write a function which will sort using binary sort. Somebody else is also writing something which needs binary sort. You will repeat the logic, he will also repeat the logic. You have taken 2 hours, he has taken 2 hours to write the logic. If the logic is same, why can't we write the logic in one block, and whenever we need that logic, why can't we simply call it, right? It is like uh, write the logic in the function definition part, and anyone who needs that kind of logic can call that function and use it. So the advantage of function is called code reusability. It helps us to do or reuse our code, right? So in Python we have different kind of functions, built-in functions, and other thing is your user defined function. Built-in means developers already it is defined, we will be using it. User defined means we will be defining a function. So let us take a simple example, right? A very simple example, and then we will discuss the other kind of different complex functions. I'll also give you one problem statement. You can tell me the solution. So Ratsekar, do you have any doubt? Otherwise, please mute. Right? I'll give you a chance to answer any doubt, ask any doubt. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Do you want to ask something? No. So please mute yourself, right? Okay, so how to define a function in Python? How to define a function in Python? You start with a keyword called def. So what is def? Def is the keyword that we will use to define a function, followed by the function name. I'll start with a very simple example and then we will go to the next complex example. Let's say I'm creating a function which will take two integer or two number as input and return you the sum of those two numbers. Very simple function. So how to define a function? Def followed by the function name. I can write any name, right? Let's say this function name is addition, or let's say this function name is add number function. So the name of the function you should write in such a manner that others can at least get some hint about the function. You should not give some random names. That is not a industry good practice. For example, I will write function 1, function 2, function 3. That is not very good naming convention. You give the name which gives you some meaning, right, about the functions, what that is doing. So I'm writing add number. This is the name of the function. Within bracket, I will write what that function is taking. This function is taking two parameter as input. And then if I write the logic in Python, there is no curly brace concept. In other languages, you have curly braces within which you write the body part of the block. Here we have space. Space is mandatory. Space is called indentation is mandatory in Python. Let me not give indentation. You can see the cursor immediately when I am writing def function name and then the parameters and hitting enter. Can you see that the cursor is leaving this much space and starting from here? Why this is happening? Because in Python there is no curly brace concept. How the interpreter will distinguish this is the body part and this is the main part. To do that, we are leaving some space, right? And you no need to take care of space. That's why we are using IDE. The IDE will automatically bring the cursor to the right place, right? Giving some space, leaving some space. Here I will write simply what I want to return is a plus b. Very simple function. I just want to introduce. Then we will do a difficult function. So what I have done just now, the add number function I have defined. And if you want to check what is this, there is a built-in function called type. You call this add number and see what is this. This is a function. I just now defined a function called add number. What is the syntax? DEF followed by the function name. Within bracket, you write the parameters. A and B are the parameters. And then the logic. The logic is it is returning the sum of those two numbers. Now this is something which I have defined the function. Let's say today I want to add two numbers. I want to add two numbers. How to call this function? Add underscore number, and then you call this function. Let's say 5 comma 6. So what will happen here? A will be replaced with 5. A will be replaced with 5. B will be replaced with 6, right? And it will return A plus B. This 5 will be replaced by A. B will be replaced with 6. And this will return 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. So you will get a value of 11, right? You can hold this value to some other variable. Let's say this is nothing but result. Result variable is storing this result, and you can see what is the result. Can anybody tell how to print anything in Python? What is the command to print anything in the console? What is the command in Python to print?
Print.
Which print function? So what is print function will do? Print function will help me to print anything in the console. You can see it is returning 11, the result, right? Uh, I told you one thing in the very initial class, in the installation class only, how to take help for any built-in function. Now I'll tell you two things. One thing is here add number. Add number, who has defined the logic? I have defined the logic. So this is user defined function. A function whose logic has been defined by the user is called user defined function. So add number is a user defined function. Now, have I defined the logic of print? Anyone? Have I defined the logic of print? But still I can call this function. I can use this function. Can anybody tell this kind of thing is known as what function, or who has defined the logic where I can get the
Inbuilt.
logic?
That's called inbuilt function,
This
and
is
the
called
Python community did that.
correct. So this is called
Like
built-in function. Correct. So this is called built-in function. So in Python, people are very much loving Python, or this is our favorite language. Why? Because Python gives us so many built-in functions like this. We have modules or libraries which contains hundreds of kind of built-in functions. For everything we have functions. Somebody has already defined the logic, so it's actually easier for us, right? For example, linear regression, very complex algorithm, somebody already defined it. I will just call the function and use it. So coming to other statistics, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, I no need to implement from scratch. Somebody already defined it, and I will simply call dot mean function. I will call the mean function, it will give me the mean. I'll call the standard deviation function, it will give me the standard deviation. So many things in Python are already defined. That is the reason Python is very popular. Users like you and me no need to define anything. Most of the simple things or even the complex things are defined. They are libraries, like bunch of functions together is called a library. For example, linear algebra, if you want to do, you have NumPy. You want to do data analysis, you have pandas. You want to do visualization graphs, you have plotly, seaborn, matplotlib. You want to do machine learning, you have sklearn. You want to do statistics, you have scipy. You want to do deep learning, you have pytorch, keras, tensorflow, cafe, and all, Theano and all. You want to do something NLP, text mining, you have NLTK, GenSim. Are you getting all of these libraries? Now you can understand is nothing but bunch of functions which solve many things. We are just going to call those functions like how I am calling print function. Most of the logic difficult part is already defined. The logic is already defined in Python. Like when you install that package, that logic is already defined. We're just going to call those functions. Bunch of functions together or methods together is called a library. When you install a library, actually you are installing, once the installation is done, you're going to use all of the functions that has been defined, right? We'll discuss about that later in the course. Very detailed way we will discuss. Now what we have discussed so far is something called how to define a function, how to call a function. I told you one trick to take help in the last class. Let's say print is a function. I am new to Python. I'm beginner. I don't know anything. How to take help? Can you tell me how I can take help for any function in Python? Any function, anything, any function. I want to take help. I want to understand what is the signature of that function, how that function I can use, what is the parameters. Anyone? How to take help in Python?
Just put the question mark after the function. That's it.
Correct. So I will just write a question mark, and then if I run in Jupyter, you can see the complete description. This is something called docstring. I want to pay attention in this particular point. Please pay attention. Every description you will find for any function inside docstring, inside docstring. So docstring will tell you what is that function is doing, what is the signature of the function, the detailed way. Sometimes you will also get some examples or a complete kind of how to use it, right? So this particular doc string will help you to define or describe the function. Now if I ask you, can you add doc string to your function so that others can use it, right? Others can write question marks and take help. Answer is a big yes, right? Now if I call my add number, if I call my add number and question mark, do you think I will get any doc string? Answer is no. Why? Because this is not my built-in function, right? I will not get any help, right? This is not my built-in function. Docstring is empty. Can you see no docstring? This is written as no docstring, no docstring, right? So I will not find any help. So how to add docstring to your function? The first line of your function is docstring. So within 3 times double quotation mark, you will write the text that you want to display. I will write this function, right? This function will take two input or two number, right? Two number and return the sum of it, right? This is what this function will do so that others can understand. So I'm just writing what this function will do, and I'm just writing the entire thing about this function, right? This function will take two numbers and return the sum of these two numbers. So this is what add number will do. If I run this, so add number 5 and 6. So I will run this and then result. So you can see this. But now if I take help for my add number, I can see complete description that I have mentioned. Let me copy this add number and question mark, right? Let me run this again. So am I getting something in docstring? Before it was null or none, right? Nothing was there. Now what I'm getting is this function will take two numbers and return the sum of the two numbers. The text that I have written, I'm getting it. So this is very helpful. We always do it in industry. This is a good practice, right? We always do it. This is called a good way of coding, right? Whatever functions you are doing, step number one, you give a relevant name. Add number itself is describing about the function. Somebody who will read this name add number will understand, okay, this function is adding numbers. Now if you give function one, my function, second function, third function, function 5, that does not define anything, right? It's very confusing for others who are going through your code or when you are working in a team, right? And second thing is docstring. This is a very good practice. Always let others take help for your function, right? Instead of going through the logic line by line and understanding, let them let you help with adding your docstring, right? So that they can take help. How to add docstring? Within 3 times double quotation mark, you write the string that you want to display when somebody is taking help. Always remember this should be the first line. If you add the string in second, third, fourth line, you can try at your home. This will not help. The docstring will not be defined. Always it should be the first line. Within the 3 times double quotation, you will write the text and this will be in first line. This is a very simple function that we have done. We will go for a complex function as a next example, but I will stop here and take doubts. All the newcomers, right? Especially the newcomers. Is it clear? The function part, how to define and how to call and docstring. Is it clear? Any doubt?
Ma'am, I have one doubt regarding the return. How is this returning means this I am not aware.
how is this returning in the sense? So return is something which will return parameter will return the value. So what is the value a plus b, 5 plus 6, 11. So it is returning 11 and then some variable is catching it. So result is catching it. So it is returning 11. Return is a function basically. I think this is something which is always there in any language. If you use function, there will be, if you want to return, otherwise if you don't want to return, that is okay. But if you want to return something from the function, you can use a return keyword. Return is a keyword which is returning the sum of the two numbers a plus b, 11, and you're holding that value in result, which is a variable, right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Is it clear? Please say yes if you are clear with functions, so that we'll go to the
Ma'am,
next complex function. Yeah.
about this return, right? The use of the return is because suppose if you want to use the result of a function, then only we use return so that we can use the result of that function and implement in other functions, right? That is a major use of the return function.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Basically, if you want to, yeah.
In place of return, if you write directly print a plus b, how means how it
Yeah.
will affect means.
Nothing will happen. Like if you can write it. So print will actually print here. So whatever is the result, you can print here directly. So there are
Then
different
also
ways.
we can use. Also we can use this function if we want to use in another means.
Yes. So here, when you call this function, it will print the result because print you are calling inside. So you can call this function and print will execute and it will show you the results, right? You can write return, you can ignore return and write directly print. Print will not hold, it will just print. If you want to hold the value, you can return. Okay, print will not hold the value, right? And this value also you can hold here. So it's up to you how you want to define. So in this case, so if you see what is my result, can you see result? Answer is nothing. So that's what I said. If you want to hold the value, you can return. If you don't want to hold the value, just you want to show the value, then print is enough. Is it clear, Savjit? Are you getting?
Okay,
So if
ma'am.
you want to use the value later, then you have to hold it, right? Otherwise, how you will use it? So print will not hold. It will just show you the result, the view. So if you want to just show the results, you can use print. If you want to hold the result, you can return.
Okay.
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 So adding to your points, Sasmitha, it's like one more point, like return should be the end statement in the function. After
Correct.
the any statement we do, after the return, it will show some error. So this is just adding to your points.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'll give you one more question to practice. So you tell me the pseudocode and then I will implement, right? Now, if you understand this, how to define a function, I think, okay, so today you can tell me because you don't, most of you don't have this Jupyter notebook and your ID and everything is not there, right? So you can use Google Collab. Are you aware of Google Collab? So people who don't have Jupyter notebook and kind of Python or have a very small machine, small in the sense not small, basically minimum configurational machine like 4 GB or yeah 4 GB is something which is minimum I mean minimal system configuration and don't want to upgrade, they can use Google Collab. Google Collab, if you know Jupyter, actually it is a Jupyter notebook running in cloud, right? So it will run based on your Gmail account or any Google account. If you have, you can directly open Google Collab and you can start coding there, right? That is we will be and it has 12 GB RAM, so it's not that it also has GPU support, so you can do all the deep learning coding also there. I suggest to use Google Colab for part 2. Most of the people they don't have this GPU support NVIDIA card, so I tell them to use Google Colab. 12 GB RAM free of cost you are getting, so make use of it, right? And also GPU support. Okay, so that is something different, but what I want to ask you is, let's say if I want to find I want, the question is, I want to take a number right? Let's say I want to take 5 numbers and I want to find the mean of those 5 numbers. Very simple question. The mean of those 5 numbers I want to find. Now, how to take that number? So 5 numbers. If one number, then I can use a variable. If 5 numbers, I cannot hold it in one variable. I need to use a container or a data structure. Let me tell you, I can use a list. Don't worry about list. We are going to discuss about list in detail, very detail. Today I'm just showing you how to write the numbers inside a list. Let's say this is my numbers, right? So this is a list which contains a number. Now you need to tell me the logic at least, or the pseudocode. You can paste it in the chart window. Leave about the syntax. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about the syntax. Pseudocode means not syntax, only your approach. I want to understand what is your analytical skill, what approach you will take. Or you can explain me also. Unmute and explain how to find mean or average of all of this number. Who can explain me the logic of average? Very simple logic.
Means
Add
one
all
first.
numbers and divide by how many numbers are there.
Yes. So the logic of mean is nothing but, or average is, take the sum of all the numbers, divide by number of elements. Most of the time we simply use the mean function .mean in Python, and we forget about the simple logic of mean. When you go for coding test, you will realize that you are not allowed to use any function or any built-in function. You have to write everything from scratch. In that time, just to write a mean, we will take 10-15 minutes. Are you getting? So that is what happening. So tell me how to write a function. I'm not talking about syntax, live about syntax. Tell me the pseudocode. What will be your approach? The sum of all numbers divided by the total number of elements present. That is the mean. Now I am telling you to define a function which will take a list as input and return me the mean or average of that list. Anyone? You take your time, no problem. It will take some 2-3 minutes. So you take your time, understand the logic. If you want to practice, if you have Jupyter, you can practice something, or you already know, then you can paste it in the chart window. I will look into it and I will tell someone who has pasted in the chat window. One of you will explain the logic and then we will write the function. The logic is clear. Now how to implement this logic in coding? Okay, I think I asked little ahead. I think I have not told you about. Okay, leave out the syntax as I said, right? If you are using for loop, you simply write for loop. No need to write the syntax. You're not
Yes.
sure, right? Yeah, so just write for loop. I will understand. I'm not talking about syntax here, just the logic, or the you call it like when you teach programming to your kid, the first thing is flow chart or logic of the program you design. So that I want. The pseudocode. What is your approach? Yes, Vinod has given a good thing. Yeah, but how to get some function you are not allowed, Vinod. No function you can use. That is easy, sum divided by length, but you are not allowed to use any sum. Let's say sum is not there. Not allowed to use sum. Length you can use, but sum you cannot. Then what? How to find sum? So you cannot use some function, right? It is from scratch. So you have to write a logic. That is the main logic actually for mean, right? Once you get the sum, you just divide it by the length. That is easy. You have to define a logic which will find the sum of numbers. So make it simpler first. This is how your programming analytical mind should work. Okay, sum divided by total. So two things I need to calculate. First, I need to find sum, and then I need to find the total or length, right? So length you can use the kind of I mean, you can use the length function, no problem, but something you have to find. So what is the logic? So your program is divided into these two parts. First part is how to find sum of numbers. This
Ma'am,
is
I
what you need
will.
to solve.
I'm
You will,
trying.
okay, sure, you try and you take your time, no problem. And once you are done, let me know. Okay, I mean, you can also write a logic for finding length or count if you don't want to use length function, but yeah, it's up to you. You can use length. Okay. Yeah, I got a good logic. I think this will help. Yes. Savajit has given a good logic. Very similar, yes. You are going very close to the logic. Yeah, correct. Sriram, Kavita, you have also tried good, right? Okay.
Can we write the logic or no need to write the logic? I mean, I know the
No,
logic.
no. Oh, you know the logic. Yeah, I mean, you can speak about it if you want to share.
Oh, okay. There is an inbuilt function called as in. So for I in the list of the numbers, and then
No, no.
sum
So
equal to sum plus I.
yes, yes. So one second. So let me tell you. So so leave about the syntax. As I said, for loop we don't know. So we will discuss about for loop syntax. But when somebody is asking you to explain the logic, or the interviewer is, let's say, good companies like FANG companies or very top tier one company, they are not very much worried about the syntax. If you can explain the logic nicely, they are sure you can write the kind of code also. I mean, there are enough helps nowadays available, so we can copy paste many things, the syntax, but the logic is important. The logic is you define
Index
a
of
variable. Correct. So you have already defined the logic. Many of you have defined the logic very nicely, and the same logic only I'm just repeating so that others can understand. You define a container, okay? Define a container, or let's say variable. The variable value is 0, right? And then this is a list, right? This is how a list is there. So we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, we have 10, and we have 56. So what I'm going to do now is the sum of numbers. So what I will do is I will take this 0, and then I will add this number with the first element 7, and then I will replace the value. So now the sum is 7, right? I will replace 0 with 7. Then what I will do is I will take this 7 and add this with 8, right? I will add this with 8, and then I will replace the value. 7 plus 8 is 15. And I'll take this number and add this value, right? This is the value. 15 plus 9, right? I will replace this value with 15 plus 9, how much? 21. And again, are you getting? This is the logic. Is it clear? The logic is clear. You define a variable called, like, any name you can give, and the value that we will assign, let's say count equals to 0 or sum equals to 0, you define, or anything, any variable, let's say sum equals to 0, you define it. And then what you will do is this plus the first index value you add, whatever is the result will be replaced, and then that with the next index value you add, whatever you're getting, that with the next index, that with the next index. If you keep doing, right, if you go to the last index, you will get the total sum. Do you agree that if you do this logic, you will get the total sum? I will stop here. If this logic is clear, what I'm saying, leave about the programming. We'll see how to do that. Is the logic is clear? Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
clear how, right? So this is what is the logic I'm using for sum. Now, what is the total, right? Total, you can use length, or basically, uh, isn't like how many times I'm doing this add operation. That is the length of the list, isn't it? How many times? So I will move a kind of, I will do a iteration, this and then this. I will tell you this for loop. I'll go, right? So length function you can directly use. Sum is something which is difficult. So length is nothing but total number of elements present in this list, right? List is not completed. When we go to list, it's very easy to find the length of the list, right? Basically total number of elements present. That is a length, which is easy. Sum is something which you need a logic. See how simple it is, but it will take 10 minutes for you to think and implement. And then mean is such a simple function, right? So this is how the coding test will be. right? You will experience this kind of thing in the coding test. When I'll show you the questions, you will initially think, I'll tell you what is the feeling. When you initially think, you will think, oh, this is simple, right? These are very simple questions, or maybe this is easy, I can implement. But when you start doing it, you will find more and more difficulty, right? Because no functions you are like, if somebody will tell you this mean function, all of this function is easy, 5 minutes you can implement. But the question is from scratch. Neither you are able to use any function like mean, standard deviation. No, all the math questions you have to implement from scratch using this logic. So this is called problem solving skill, right? You will develop gradually, right? And this is, if this is your strong, then only you can clear your interviews, coding test basically, right? Okay, now if you understand this, implementation is anyway, it is easy, right? So I think the code already written by Savajit, maybe in other language, but that's perfectly fine. The logic is very well structured. So the same thing what I will do now is called writing a function which will give me average. I will write def, and then the mean function, I'll give some name, let's say average, find average, right? As I said, the name I always give which has some meaning, right? Find average. So this function is finding average. And then what it will take, it will take a list as input, right? List of numbers. So I will pass list of numbers. Let's say this is my list of numbers it is taking. What it will return, right? What it will return, what is the logic or body part. So I will define a variable. Let's say this is nothing but sum of number, sum of number variable, which is 0. The same logic that I am explained right now, I'm just implementing, defining a variable which has 0. Now I'm writing for loop. In this particular line of code, you will also understand how to write for loop in Python, right? What is for loop? For loop is iteration, right? Iteratively, if you want to run something, if you want to repeat the body part or the block of the code multiple times iteratively, you will be using for loop. So in other language, for I equals to something, I plus plus. Please mute yourself. I'll give chance to everyone to ask doubt. Let me explain it first. Please mute yourself. I can hear a lot of background noise. Please mute yourself. I'll give chance everyone to answer, right? And then what I will do, don't worry about for loop. I'm just writing it later. I will discuss about for loop, maybe tomorrow's class. For t in num. So what is t? What is t? T is a variable. So what I'm doing is for t in num. In is an operator in Python. I know this is a little confusing. I will discuss about for loop in detail. In this case, I'm just sharing the logic, right? And what is the logic here? Sum num equals to sum num, the previous value plus what? The previous value plus the recent value, that is t. So what is t? So what this line is doing? So if you understand what I have said in the graph, for t in num. So what is num here? Num is nothing but, sorry, this is list num, not num. This is list num. So list num has this values, right? Let's say 6, 7, 8, and 9. So for t in list num, if I write for t in list num, t is a variable which is going to each and everything. So for first time, for t in list num, here if I write for t in list num, what is the value of t? First time the t value will be 6. So here 6 will come, right? 6, sorry, here 6 will come, 0 plus 6. So some num will be replaced with 6 now. Again, I will go here for t in list num. Again, the next value. What is the next value? T value will be 7. T in list num, T value will be 7. Again, some num, previously it was 6. 6 plus 7. It is what? 6 plus 7, 13. Again, T means next. Again, T next. Is this line clear? For T in list num means what it will do? T is individual element present in that particular list. In a for loop, I am going through each and every element of this list number. I'll explain about for loop in detail, but at least at high level, if you could understand, this is what it is doing, right? Now this logic will give me the sum, right? Cumulative sum. I will take every sum total. This is the sum. Now I will, once this is done, so this will hold the entire value. Now I got the sum, and then the average is very simple. So the average is nothing but, here I will write list num, right? Here I will write list of number. then average is nothing but what? Sum of numbers, that is sum num, right? Sum num divided by total length, right? I will write length function. I can use length, or else I have a way, right? Later we will discuss, so let it make it simple. So I'm using length of num, so that is my average, and then I can return this average. Is this logic clear? Any doubt in this definition part? Feel free to ask me. I will repeat. Anything you could not understand, the same thing that I have explained, I am implementing right now. Is it clear? If it is clear, please say yes, yes. Finding average, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once I have defined my function, always add docstring, right? Here I'm not adding, but you can add docstring, and then I can call this. So find average, and then you call any list. So let's say 9, 10, and let us make it simple, right? Let's say 10, 20, and 30. What is the average of 10, 20, 30? So I will return, it will return. So I will hold it, let's say result, right? And then I will print this result, right? So what is this some error we have done? So some length of number, not
Curly
num.
bracket you have used in find.
No, no.
You have
No.
not defined the find in result.
Okay, okay. Okay. Find average. Okay, sorry. And also here, right? Length of some number, na? List number. The name is different. Some syntactical mistake. I think now this is correct. Okay. Okay, two braces. Right, so let me print this result now. What is this result? So you can see the result is 20. So it is giving me the average of three numbers, 10 plus 20, 30 plus 30, 60 by 3. So you know the average is 20, right? So this is a simple example of function, right? We'll discuss more about function called lambda expression in tomorrow's class. There is a special way of defining a function called inline function, anonymous function, or lambda expression. Maybe in tomorrow's class we will discuss about lambda expression, followed by some other additional things we will discuss called for loop, while loop, and if else, right? That is what is the takeaway for tomorrow's class. Now people, old students, you can drop the meeting. Who joined today newly? Today is the first class. I want to understand, are you able to understand what we are discussing here in this class? Why I'm asking this question? Because in the last class we have discussed about what is variable, what is data type. Very simple concept, only half an hour we have connected. Now if you have any doubt regarding variable and data type, I am going to take one extra class tomorrow. Be prepared to extend for 10, not extend, but we can end the previous batch at 8:20, and 10 minutes I will take and I will summarize what we have covered. So 10 minutes is enough. If I summarize in 10 minutes what is variable, what is data type, you can understand. Very simple concept. And today onwards, actually we are starting the batch. Your assignment is, please go through the Jupyter
I'm
notebook
confused.
and Anaconda tutorial. In the meantime, when you are asking me doubts, I will share you the link to install Anaconda and Jupyter Notebook. Yeah, you're saying something?
Yeah, Sasmitha, can we drop off or we need to stay on the line?
Kavita, you can drop off.
Yeah, no problem.
Kavita,
Thank you.
Jamal, you can drop off. Others, Ranjan, Kumar also. You also join, right? You can drop off.
And before I drop off, I just have one quick question.
Yeah.
Like you have in the line 19, right? You have mentioned result equal to find average. Is that a different thing you're doing there? Like, what was the purpose of writing the line number 19?
Yes. So find average is the function that I'm calling. Right, find average function I'm calling, and it is taking a list as input. So I'm passing this 10, 20, 30, which is a list, as input to find average function, and then
Okay,
it is
instead of
returned.
using the concept, sorry to break you, ma'am. I'm saying that instead of using the whole logic which we have wrote in 17, we are using just one function, find average, and getting the function average. You mean to say?
Correct. So in function, we have two parts. One is called function definition and one is called function call. So in the first block, 17 is where we are defining the logic of the function, why we are using that function, what that function will take as input, what that function will do, the
Oh,
entire
okay.
logic. And then once I have defined it, I no need to define it again, and again. It is there like a template or blueprint, you can say. And whenever
Got it.
anyone needs mean, they simply need to call it. It's a blueprint
Got it,
we are
ma'am.
defining. Right?
I did not see the variable you have actually. You did not pass the parameters. You just defined it. I did not see that, ma'am. My bad.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Are we gonna get this recording, ma'am, in this
I will add
drive, please?
everyone today. So last class was the demo class. Today I will tell ma'am to create a new drive, Jamal, and I'll add you, Kavita and Kumar to that drive, and I will share all the materials, everything that we are doing, and also Python book, cheat sheets, everything I will upload. Assignments, I will keep your drive up to date once it is
Sure, ma'am.
created today. Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait for that. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for
No
the class.
problem.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah. Vinod, I think for the deep learning class, you can join Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours. Tuesday, Thursday morning, 6:30, 1 hour. So we discussed. Tomorrow we have class 6:30 morning, Vinod. I think you came from advance, right? Vinod, you join tomorrow 6:30.
Yes, ma'am. Tuesday and Friday and
No. Tuesday, Monday, 1 day gap, Tuesday, and then Wednesday gap, Thursday, Friday gap, Saturday, Sunday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Tuesday, Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 9, 7 to 9.
okay, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow
Thank
6:30 we have class. Exactly 6:30, right? You can join.
Is it class started, ma'am, or
No.
today is it start?
Today we don't have class. Tomorrow is the class.
Oh,
Weekly
okay,
4 days.
okay,
Yes. Please join tomorrow. Yeah.
okay, ma'am. Thank
Okay. Now, all the new joiners, right? Give me 1 minute. Let me share you the link. Please, today you have any one of you already have Anaconda installed? Python Anaconda. No, right? Okay. So this,
Ma'am, this is Murali.
yes.
Probably my requirement is like quite different. But shall I ask now or shall I call you separately?
Yes. No problem. You can ask me now.
Because
Just give me.
because of me, I don't want to be wait for others. So
Okay,
you
so
can go
then
ahead.
let others first ask if they have any doubt. I'm just sharing the link where you can download Anaconda and then look about Jupyter Notebook. This is very important before you join. You make sure your system is ready and you're very comfortable using Jupyter. 1 hour video, complete beginner from very scratch, level 0 to a level where you can create nice documents about Jupyter. Till that level, I will take you, right? So you just type Durgasoft data science in YouTube, data science session 1, right? And you will find that video for session 1 is about installation, Anaconda Jupyter Notebook installation. The chat in the chat window, I'm just sharing the link. Please copy this, everyone. This is the link to download Anaconda Python. Today you have to open this link and you have to install Anaconda Python. Everyone, please copy this link. Now, if you type session 2, the next link, the next link that I am sharing is about Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is something which is mandatory. Now, you join this course or not, that is a different thing, but go through this link and understand about Jupyter. If you really want to come to data analysis, right? It's very important thing to understand about Jupyter Notebook. So the second link is Jupyter Notebook tutorial. You can see in now YouTube, if you see this, Durgasoft Data Science Session 2. If you type, you will get this, right? Okay, everybody copied. This is the first thing that I want to share. Is it clear, everyone? Okay.
Yes,
Now
yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think most of you attended yesterday's demo where I have explained everything, right? The syllabus, the course content, what is the time. Today also I have explained almost every day we have class. You have only three to four Sundays where you have break. We are not covering much things in one day, in 1 hour, but it is like a continuity. You will feel motivated, and I'll keep you motivated for 1.5 months to 2 months. And in this duration, you will be having lot of problems to practice assignments, bundle of assignments, 3 to 4 assignments, and then 4 to 5 projects. And also on weekends, these are kind of coding test, mock test, where you will 3 hour coding test. You can take a break in between, and at least you will feel the pressure, right? When you go for real coding test, what is the pressure? And try to finish it within the coding test timeline, and let you see how you stand, where you stand, right? Within 3 hours, how much you can complete. That is the main thing here. The difficulty, it's like CAT exams. The questions are not difficult. The thing is how fast you code, how quickly you can think the solution, right? And within 3 hours, how much you can do. That is what is the key here for success. So you will feel that pressure when you join the Sunday's coding test. And I think CV preparation, resume preparation, coming to your real-time experience, whatever projects I have done in my last 6 years, I have changed many companies, investment bank to manufacturing, 25-30 projects I have done individually, as an individual contributor. And now also I'm handling a data science team. So we are now in a process of bringing projects, from handling project myself to bringing projects and handling a small team. I will share all of my experience with you, also help you to build your CV, right? What kind, see, if you copy paste from internet, you will write self forecasting. If I will tell you, I'll tell you to write brilliant pricing. There is a way how you can define competitive intelligence, brilliant pricing, smart signal, different projects I will explain, which you can write in your CV, right? So till that level I will take you. And also getting Python recording from Durga sirs. So I think in that case, you will be very expert in Python. Having said that, we'll see the core Python and then we'll jump to the advanced Python. Advanced Python, pandas, numpy, plotly, I will cover in detail. Core Python, I will cover the main topics that is there in the syllabus, what I will cover. Everything is very transparent here. There is nothing to hide. That's the reason elaboratively I have written the syllabus. Each word by word, you can see what has been covered. There is nothing hidden. People write only one line, NLP. What do you mean by NLP? Lot of topics. So that's the reason I defined very detailed topics. You can have a very good understanding what will be covered, what not will be covered, so that there will be no confusion. Today and the last class, I will open the syllabus and I will compare. Everything will be same. Whatever we are discussing now, we will find the same thing in the last class, right? Huh. Any doubt
Uh,
so far?
Ma'am, can we get the syllabus of this course? Means any link is there, something, if you can paste it in chat.
Huh. Yeah, sure. So the syllabus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting late actually. So today I have something at 8:40. I need to start the class of my kid. I cannot extend, but yes, I will share one number, right? That is ma'am's number. Feel free to
Uh-huh.
call her, Bhavani ma'am. She is the coordinator. So anything, if you want to talk to me one to one, right? Any one of you, if you want to talk me one to one, you can directly call her. She will guide, she will connect with me. 888-5252-627, right? So this is the number 888-5252-627, and this is ma'am's name, Bhavani ma'am. Where is the number? Went 1 second.
If we wanted to speak through Bhavani ma'am only, we have to contact you.
To speak with me, yes, Bhavani ma'am. I'm not sharing my numbers. You can understand the reason. But yes, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm available on LinkedIn. You can note down my email number. You can reach out to me in email. Any doubt you have, most of the doubts will clear in the class. You can share your screen.
Certain my questions she cannot do because content level
Yeah,
how you are going to give these kind of things I want to understand.
Murli,
That
you
is the
can call to Bhavani this number. She will connect with me. I'm available.
okay.
She will connect with me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Most of the time, if it is during daytime, right, if it is peak hours, I may not answer, but otherwise most of the time I will answer and speak to you, no problem, right?
So
You
as
can
a
call to this
conference
number.
call.
Yes, as a conference call, you can call and we can discuss. 888-525-627. Not only
Yeah,
that,
Durga.
for any registration, any enrollment, any course content, anything that you want to ask, directly call to this number. So I'm little occupied with my classes and other things, but she will be available. She is the course coordinator. She will help you in everything. You are not able to understand the topics, you're not following, you want extra class, you want my time, or let's say you want to discuss something, you have some doubt, you have some career confusion, anything that is what you want to discuss with me or institute, any recording is not uploaded. Recording will be uploaded within 1 day. You will get the complete recording of the class, the materials, the notebook, the extra material, bonus lecture notes, books, assignments, everything is kind of very well structured, right? Regarding anything, if you have any doubt, any question, feel free to call her. She's also handling Durga sir's account. She might be calling you one time, but if you are not picking, maybe she is not able to follow up. But you can call to her, because more than she, it's you who need it, right? You need a good kind of class to complete this data science. So if you really find it useful, feel free to call her and ask her any doubt. So the course content, I will tell ma'am to send the course content to everyone who joined today's class. You will get a mail with the course content, both advanced and intermediate, part 1 and part 2. This is your course content for intermediate. This part 1. Intermediate, don't think it's the basic course. This is not the basic course. Basically, the subject I have divided. In part 1, you are learning statistics, machine learning, visualization, and Python. In part 2, you are learning deep learning, NLP, and Spark, big data, and cloud. So that is the combination. The topics are different. Every topic is important. Machine learning is not intermediate. It is itself is very important. So we are simply covering the topic wise. Part 1, machine learning, part 2, deep learning in short. Right, and this is what you can see. We are following line by lines. You can see in the demo only, if you have attended, you can see I'm following the syllabus. Artificial intelligence, what is that? Yesterday, if you have attended, introduction to data science, use cases, who is a data scientist, life cycle difference, right? So these are all things you will get in demo. From here the real class starts. So here we are, right, in functions today. Can you see line by line I'm following? Tomorrow you can also understand, looking at the syllabus, what I'm going to cover. Lambda expression. So what we have seen is this only part we have seen. So this 3. So if you are asking me where this batch is, this is very fresh batch. Software installation Jupyter notebook tutorial already I have shared you. If you go through that recordings, it is already done. So software installation Jupyter notebook, you will be very confident. After that, introduction to Python is nothing but the theory, why Python is popular. Comment variable operators. I think in the class also I told you, right? We just completed what is variable, what is data type, nothing else. And today you attended function. We have not seen if else for a while. Tomorrow we will see this. So every topic we are covering in like the topic, whatever is written in the syllabus. Like that, we will go for NumPy and then pandas and then plotly, visualization, create dashboards, projects. Then we will discuss about statistics, and then we will discuss about machine learning. I love to go depth. Whatever I'm covering, I'll cover in depth. Whatever I'm not covering, I will not touch it, because that is how you can crack interviews. Touching surface just to kind of motivate you to join the course is not going to neither help you nor me. I will be happy if most of you are able to crack interviews. It's not just for advertisement, right? So I can teach only this much topic in this time duration nicely, right? That's the reason I have not included lot of things. Whatever is included, we will be, I mean, today you can mark my words and call me one to one. If you feel like machine learning is not in depth, you can directly tell me and share your feedback. If you feel like the machine learning is not in depth, my topic, whatever I have written, linear regression, means there is nothing beyond it what we will not cover. We'll see the loss function, we'll see the optimization techniques, we'll derive the optimization techniques, we'll understand the theory. We will do one project use case. So it is complete maths, logic, theory, and implementation. So whatever we had, and interview questions also I will discuss in the class. So everything, whatever is there, 6-7 algorithms in detail, you will able to understand. Decision tree, random forest, ensemble methods, what is bagging, boosting, followed by your classification, modeling, validation techniques, PCA, principal component analysis, very important kind of algorithm. And every project, every algorithm has one project. And finally we have K-means, NLP. I'll just give you a brief. This is not NLP complete course. The NLP complete course you'll get in part 2. This is just an introductory idea I will give you, right? And also we'll do one project on NLP called document clustering. Okay, so this is what about the course content. I'm getting late actually, so I will stop here. If you have any doubt, anyway, this entire week is demo week. Having said that, we will go slow. We'll cover the contents, and feel free to ask me any doubts in tomorrow's class. And we will go with the content. Python core we will continue. After today's class, tomorrow's class, if you have any further queries, you can ask me. Right? Is it all good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
think, yeah, and feel free to call to that number that I have shared. I hope everybody noted it down. Very important number. Throughout the course, this number you can use, right? If you want to talk to me one-to-one. If something you don't want to share in the group, you can call to me directly and speak with me. Okay? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Hello.
Uh, Pavan, I'm really sorry. I have to drop now because I have to start my kids' meeting. So sorry. Tomorrow I will answer your query, Pavan, or you can call to me.
Yeah, sure, madam. Okay, no problem. Thanks, madam.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. No.